What's Gucci Guardians? It's your boy Mace, aka Camille's dad, and I'm back with another build video for you. Now, this is the actual revision of my most viral video seen here. We're going to go ahead and make changes for this current season, as well as some changes that some of the viewers of the previous video thought that I should implement. A lot of ideas, a lot of changes. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right. So here we have my sexy Titan, sexy Titan. I don't think anybody in the game has a Titan that looks so good. All right, so we'll talk about the subclass a tiny bit since this is a revision of my previous video. We're not going to really get into it too much. Just know that Thunder Crash is the super that we're using. Ballistic Slam is how we're going to get our super energy, because impact conversion, hitting targets with Ballistic Slam, grants super energy and activates inertia override. So we're going to talk about the armor mods next, and then we're going to talk about the weapons and how they interact with each other. But before we get into that, part of the reason I'm making this video obviously is because it's a new season and we needed an update on my most viral video. But I also got some comments from some of you in the previous video. One of them talked about the artifact mods. I was using Breach and Clear. Just to make it clear, you do not need any artifact mods for this build to work. The only thing you need is a Titan and the Curus of the Falling Star, and then the armor mods that we use to get elemental wells and super energy. I was using Breach and Clear last time, and the guy, for whatever reason, was just thinking that that was the main driver of the build, and it wasn't. So if you want to debuff something in this build in any season, you can use a sword that has flash encounter on it. Flash encounter will debuff any boss mob that has a stomp mechanic. So ogres have stomp mechanics, and 99% of the bosses have a stomp mechanic. So you basically just walk up to them with sword out. When they start their stomp mechanic, you hold the block button. It will block their stomp. You know it worked if you didn't get booped off the side of the map. And then from there, they will be debuffed for 5 to 10 seconds, and you can hit them with a super or any weapon or anything else you want to hit them with, and it works for everybody. I do have particle deconstruction on here, but particle deconstruction is mainly for my fusion rifle Bastion. It does do a debuff, but it's hit or miss when you want to use it for other things. Like you do more damage with your sword, but sometimes you'll only get the base damage. Other times you'll see the additional damage. It's hit or miss. So if you really want to debuff somebody, have a Titan or have a hunter come with a tether. That's the best way. Other than that, and you want to stay as an arc subclass, use a sword with flash count. Okay, so that being said, let's talk about the armor mods. So on my mark here, I have elemental armaments. Elemental armaments, weapon takedowns with damage type that matches your subclass element have an escalating chance to spawn elemental wells. All right. And then we have heavy-handed. While charged with light, regain half of your melee energy when you use your charged melee ability, consuming 1 stack of charge with light. Now this also has a secondary perk. While surrounded by multiple combatants, defeating a combatant with a fusion rifle, shotgun, sidearm, or submachine gun adds ammo for that weapon to your reserves. And they work like hand in hand, vice versa for each weapon. So as you can see, I have a fusion rifle and I have a submachine gun. When you're getting kills with the submachine gun, it will give you ammo for the fusion rifle and vice versa. Now these are both short range weapons, so you're going to be using them around combatants, so you don't have to worry about it not giving you ammo for the other one. It works, trust me. I've been using this for season upon season now. All right, and then as far as heavy-handed with the secondary perk, you have to put on another mod that's an arc mod in either the same piece of armor. So you see these two are together. This is what's activating the secondary perk. If you didn't want to have to put in the secondary mod on that same piece of armor, you could come over to another arc piece of armor and then slot in another charge of light mod on here. Any of them that have these blue dots on them. So you can put in this one. You can't put the obvious the same one. You put this one on, you can put this one on, and you can put this one on, or this one. Any of these will activate the secondary perk on heavy-handed, as well as the secondary perk on the other arc mod. So you can either use one piece of armor like I'm doing and having them in these together, or you can do it as a separate piece of armor. Okay, so that being said, Invigoration reduces melee cooldown each time you pick up an orb of power. So every time you run over an orb of power, it's going to give you some melee energy as well. All right, so we'll talk about the Cuirass next. Greatly increases your Thundercrash impact damage, gain an overshield that lasts longer the farther you travel before striking a target. So that is the main way that we're going to be damaging bosses with this build. And then we're using Melee Wellmaker, powered melee combatant final blows spawn elemental wells matching your subclass energy type. So every time we do the ballistic slam and we get a kill with it, it will pop out an elemental well. All right, and then on my arms here, I've got double melee kickstart. When your melee energy is fully extended or expended, you gain melee energy. So I'm doubling that up here. And then I'm using elemental charge. Become charged with light by picking up an elemental well. If your elemental well element type matches your subclass element, you gain 2 stacks of charge with light. So every time I pick up an elemental well, I'm going to get 2 stacks of charge with light. Charge with light will activate heavy-handed. You see how this is going. All right, and last but not least, on my helmet, I have double hands on. So gain bonus super energy on melee kills. And then Well of Striking, picking up an arc elemental well grants you additional melee energy. Multiple copies of this mod increase this effect. So I'm going to be looking for big groups of mobs that I can do the ballistic slam on, and those will give me big chunks of super energy. For every kill I get, I'm getting bonus super energy, and I'm doubling it up here, so it'll be twice as much. So be on the lookout for that. And then every time I do that and get a successful kill, an elemental well pop up, I'll pick that up, and this will give me additional melee energy. Now, this build that I came up with here is partly because A, it's a new season, and B, some of the comments that I had in my comment section, one of them which also had said that they liked the build, but they would have rather seen me use Insurmountable Skullfort to get my super energy and then switch to the Cuirass and pop the super. And while that is a very, very good way of getting super energy, I didn't like having to swap multiple pieces of armor in between, combat. And so I figured I'd come up with a build that acted like Insurmountable Skullfort, but ain't Insurmountable Skullfort. It's actually better. What makes this unique or different than Insurmountable Skullfort is, with Insurmountable Skullfort, if you do a ballistic slam and you don't kill anything, then you have to wait for your melee energy to build back up. So with me having 100, it's going to be 32 seconds before I can do another ballistic slam. With this build, you got a get out of jail free card. You can do the ballistic slam and not hit anything or not kill anything, but you have a second charge of light. So you're going to have the energy right back again. And then you can turn around probably within like 5 seconds or so and do it again. There is a cooldown between ballistic slams, and it's the same thing for Insurmountable Skullfort. You don't get it instantly. There's like a 2-second cooldown or something in between them. So you do have to contend with that. With that being said, we got the weapons We have the Ikelos submachine gun and Bastion feeding each other ammo. We have the particle deconstruction giving debuffs with the fusion rifle, and we have the crown splitter when we have beefy mobs that we want to take care of pretty quickly without using our super. So this is a really good build, a really fun build. I'll go ahead and show you exactly how it works in the gameplay. All right, so we have some mobs here that we're hunting for, just to get an idea of how this works. Okay, melee that guy, melee that guy. See, we get a chunk of super energy for every melee kill. All right, looking for a guy to do ballistic slam on. Here's one, but he did not drop an elemental well. Melee that dude in the face. Let's try it again. He also did not, but we will have, okay, he dropped one and we have our ballistic slam back already. So let's go hunting for some more. Here's a couple guys, and they drop a well. A couple guys up here. He dropped a well, finished him off. So as you can see here, I'm getting these ballistic slams back to back to back, just like if I were using insurmountable Skullport. Eat this guy, he drops a well. It takes a couple seconds sometimes, so I have it now, which I could use again. Bam, well. So yeah, so this is ballistic slam without being ballistic slam. And as you saw earlier, even if you miss, you still have at least one more ballistic slam you could try. Eat this guy. Got my ballistic slam back. Let's look for a boss. So we're gonna see exactly how long it takes to get the super back after casting it. So I'm guessing about 30 seconds with enough mobs around. All right, there's my well. Here, eat these guys. Another well. Turn around, pop these dudes. Well. Melee these two vehicles. All right, I should have my super here with one more ballistic slam. Here we go. Super's full. Boss is over there. Let's go hit him. Yep, 30 seconds. All right, so here's just the ending of this thing and how it all went down. Get to the end of the video here. I'm not going to use my super here because obviously he's damage gated now. So you do a ballistic slam here, pick up a well. Okay, I didn't get my well, even though it popped up in the air. Still only have one charge. Let's go over here and help out with these nightmares. He has a debuff. It took 93,000 damage. Normally that'd be about 78 or 79,000. That one was 115. Thank you for that. Mucho apreciado. All right, so pop the super now. I should have debuffed him first. Should have debuffed him, but hey. And there, I didn't kill anything with my ballistic slam, so I only got half my energy back. I'll have it here in a second. All right. Take care of these nightmares real quick. All right, so like I was saying before, we're getting close to the end of the video. If you liked what you saw in this video, then please leave a like. If you enjoy the content on the channel, then of course subscribe to the channel. I'm doing this for you guys, and I'm here making these videos. They're pretty cool. It's a lot of fun, and I like talking to you guys in the comments. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Again, my name is Mace. I'm Camille's dad. Thanks for watching. Peace.